COVID-19 on Easter Sunday.
Watch it coming!
As those fleeing the weather grapple with fear of the coronavirus, wearing masks in shelters, deadly storms tearing through the South in the middle of the pandemic, leaving at least 13 people dead. The front of this warehouse completely demolished and roads underwater. Now the dangerous weather taking aim at the East Coast this morning.
The death toll in the U.S. now the highest in the world. New York State finally starting to flatten the curve, but the fight far from over.
758 people lost their lives in a 24-hour period.
Other hotspots emerging in Massachusetts and Pennsylvania, and now questions about when to reopen the country. Dr. Fauci discussing a possible rolling re-entry. Warnings ignored. The growing evidence President Trump downplayed the threat of the virus while his top advisors were sounding the alarm. And the president now lashes out, retweeting a post calling for Dr. Fauci to be fired.
Easter at home. From Pope Francis streaming to millions online, to Andrea Bocelli's stunning performance in Milan, and Joel Osteen's star-studded virtual celebration, while some gather in person defying stay-at-home orders and honoring our heroes. From the amazing Detroit nurse with a powerful voice to the star-studded dance-a-thon live from Diddy's home and Pitbull's new global anthem, supporting our healthcare workers and lifting spirits across the nation.
Live in Times Square, this is Good Morning America.
Good morning, America. We'll hope everyone had a safe and wonderful holiday weekend. I'm happy to have George and Robin joining us from their homes on this Monday morning. And Robin, like you and us as well, so many celebrating Easter at home.
That's right. And you know what? You don't have to be in a church to go to church. The world watching Pope Francis from their living rooms. Many did that. And the unprecedented sight of a nearly empty St. Peter's Basilica. The Pope saying the pandemic is, quote, severely testing our whole human family. And we are always thinking also of our GMA family. And George, many people have been asking, how is Allie feeling this morning, George?
She's doing much, much better, Robin. Thank you. Happy Easter to both of you. In fact, she's going on her 5th day now with no fever, which is really a great sign. Slowly getting out of bed a little bit more each day. So we're really happy about that. And I also learned over the weekend that my test came back positive for COVID as well, which is really no surprise given the fact that I've been here for a couple of weeks. But I'm one of those, I guess, cases that are basically asymptomatic. I've never had a fever, never had chills, never had a headache, never had cough, never had shortness of breath. I'm feeling great. And so we're going to talk to Dr. Jen about that in our next half hour.
Well, we hope Allie continues to feel well, George, and we hope you don't have any of those symptoms that you described. And, you know, our nation, they are already in the fight against COVID-19. Coronavirus fears colliding with the tornado emergency overnight for millions. Severe storms battering the South. Victor Oquendo is in Monroe, Louisiana, with a major tornado devastated that city. Good morning, Victor.
Good morning, Michael. Monroe was one of the first cities to take the brunt of these storms. Tornadoes picking up these 2 cars, smashing them right into this home. And on the other side, you can see into what's now left of that kitchen. Neighbors tell us they had to go inside and rescue the homeowners. They would survive, but as these storms moved on, many others would not.
We just got another trap call. Apparently a tree went in the house. There's supposed to be 4 kids inside the house. They can't get out.
Overnight, Tennessee, the latest state plagued with severe storms, resulting in 5 deaths and several more injured, with Chattanooga one of the largest cities hit by a tornado and heavy downpours. Our affiliate station, WTVC's Bliss Seckman, showing us her devastated home.
It took our roof off. That tree almost went through our house, but by the grace of God, did not.
Cars left with shattered windshields. The front of this warehouse demolished. The debris submerged in floodwater. At least 13 more people are dead and more than 800,000 households are without power after violent storms bearing powerful tornadoes and torrential rain ripped through the South Easter Sunday. Alabama, Louisiana, and Mississippi all declaring a state of emergency.
Oh, jeez. Watch it coming!
Yep, I see it. I'm watching it.
In Mississippi, winds potentially peaking at 170 to 205 miles per hour, leaving a scene of destruction. at least 7 of the fatalities coming from this state alone.
My wife was scared, and I just kept telling her it's going to be okay.
Lord Jesus. My boy house gone, man. It's gone.
Louisiana's city of Monroe, one of the hardest hit by a tornado.
We had to rescue like 4 little infants and 2 ladies.
I heard this really loud bang, but I didn't expect this type of destruction when I came outside.
The mayor hesitant to designate shelters for the misplaced in the wake of a global pandemic.
Normally we would talk about opening shelters. Right now, shelters are the last resort because of the COVID-19 pandemic.
The tornado taking direct aim at the regional airport with planes scattered across the field. In central Alabama, emergency crews race to rescue residents from their homes and watch as this downed power line sets fire to the street. These storms could not come at a worst possible time. Resources already stretched thin because of the coronavirus response. And George, we're not in the clear yet.
Boy, we are not. Okay, Victor, thanks very much. So let's bring in Greg Michelle. He's Executive Director of the Mississippi Emergency Management Agency. Mr. Michelle, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Our hearts are with everyone in your state right now. Just give us a sense of the damage you're finding right now and what you're doing about it.
Yeah, so we had about 30 counties that were affected with the storms yesterday and throughout the night last night. 11 fatalities that we know of right now. As you know, search and rescue efforts went through the night and, of course, will resume this morning when the sun comes up.
I can't even imagine trying to do all the work you normally do in the wake of a disaster like this during a pandemic as well. How has it complicated the relief and rescue efforts?
Well, of course, it's it complicated it greatly. I mean, you know, we discussed the shelters. We had a meeting with all of our county emergency management agencies on Friday ahead of this storm. Been tracking it for about a week and just prepared them to make sure that they had additional PPE available should they have to open shelters. And, of course, this storm turned out to be as dangerous as we had planned, so we did have to utilize those shelters.
Yeah, and when people get those warnings, it's so hard to keep up with the social distancing guidelines required by the pandemic in shelters like that.
Absolutely, absolutely, and that's always an issue. We emphasized to everyone if they had to go into a shelter to make sure they maintained hygiene. We had extra hand sanitizer in those counties where we planned these storms to be, and then encouraged everyone to use masks. But at the end of the day, life safety had to persist over everything else, and the greater risk of the tornado had to overcome the COVID. Still a concern, but again, we've got folks that live in certain areas, rural areas, where they don't have access to shelters in their home. So shelters were the only option that they had.
And as Victor said, you all are just not out of the woods yet. There could be more severe weather coming. What's your plan going forward?
Well, our plan right now is to help these counties get back on their feet as quickly as we can. I mean, April is historically our most dangerous month in the year. We've certainly, what happened yesterday is certainly an indicator of how dangerous these storms can be. So we'll do the cleanup efforts and get ready for what we anticipate to be a very busy and active tornado month here in April.
We know it will be, sir. Stay safe. Give our best to everyone down in their state, and thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you, George.
Take care. Michael?
All right, thank you, Jordan. The tornado threat is not over, and we're going to go to Ginger, who is tracking the latest on where that threat is now. Good morning, Ginger.
Good morning, Michael. Tornadoes are happening as we speak in South Carolina. We've got a tornado emergency, but the watches stretch from Jacksonville up through central Virginia. That tornado emergency included Walterboro, where that line just blew over I-95. You had debris flying. These are deadly tornadoes. We've got several warnings from Georgia up through just northwest of Raleigh. So we're watching that line, and as that pushes east, it's not just tornadoes, it's damaging wind. So we're talking 60, 70-mile-per-hour winds within these thunderstorms that could extend up to Philadelphia. But watch this. Those numbers are coming after the storm passes. I think places like New Jersey, up through the Cape, Long Island, all could see gusts upwards of 75 miles per hour. This concerns me a lot, especially having those tents in Central Park for the coronavirus pandemic. Robin?
All right, Ginger, thank you. Everybody take care out there. Now, the latest number of confirmed coronavirus cases here in the United States rising past the 500,000 mark. with more than 20,000 deaths. Both numbers the most in the world, but it is important to consider the size of our country compared to some of the other hard-hit ones. Dr. Anthony Fauci saying a, quote, rolling reentry back to normal could begin next month. And in New York, deaths remain high while the governor says there is evidence that the curve is indeed beginning to flatten. Let's go to Tom Yamas, who's outside the Navy ship Comfort there in New York City with more. Good morning, Tom.
Robin, good morning to you. When you speak to doctors across New York City, some say they do see a slowdown in patients. Others say they still are feeling that surge. Governor Andrew Cuomo says we all have to be cautiously optimistic. This as we're tracking news out of China this morning. China now reporting a troubling trend, a high number of new cases now emerging. This morning, promising news New Yorkers have waited weeks for. Governor Andrew Cuomo signaling the state is finally flattening the curve. The rate of people going to hospitals dropping, but the crisis far from over. Coronavirus killing nearly 800 people a day here. Cuomo calling it a horrific rate.
758 people lost their lives in a 24-hour period. I speak to many families who are going through this, many people who lost loved ones.
As New York tries to get a handle on the deadly virus, other hot zones near New York are emerging. In Massachusetts, the number of confirmed cases soaring by 21% over 2 days. In Pennsylvania, the governor predicting a surge this week after more than 2,800 new cases were reported on Saturday.
If we begin to slip in our efforts to distance ourselves socially, we could very easily see explosive growth rates.
News like that is one reason health experts don't want to reopen the country too quickly. Dr. Anthony Fauci, the nation's top infectious disease expert, advocating a possible rolling reentry.
We are hoping that at the end of the month, we can safely and cautiously start pulling back on. If so, do it. If not, then just continue to hunker down.
Because right now, the virus is still claiming lives across the country. More than 20,000 in the U.S. alone. People like 36-year-old Louisiana police officer K'Juan Bates, Sister Marie June Skender, a Catholic nun from Wisconsin, and Dr. Nat Bertley, Flint, Michigan's first black school superintendent.
He was a wonderful man. He was a leader. He was a caregiver.
But this morning, there are also stories of hope. Dr. Hala Akbarnia, an ER doctor in Chicago, treating COVID-19 patients, writing an op-ed in the LA Times about a patient she calls Mr. C, describing how she had to intubate him, how he fought the virus for more than 12 days, but eventually won that battle.
It's probably their worst day, and you're putting your trust in us.
And the front line now getting new and much-needed support. Early graduates like medical student Dr. Rebecca Noonan from Hofstra.
I don't think that there's ever been such a need for help, and so I know that I'll be going in and helping patients.
As reinforcements enter hospitals across the country, the government trying to rehab an economy infected by the virus. Nearly 17 million filing for unemployment in the past 3 weeks alone. Over the Easter weekend, thousands waiting at food banks in Los Angeles and San Antonio for hours. But now word, some of those stimulus checks have started to hit bank accounts.
Boy, was I delighted to see $1,200+ that I was able to, get the check in the mail and my rent is paid.
And that is great news. Some are receiving those stimulus checks already. Now, as for China, the country is now reporting its highest number of new cases in more than 6 weeks. So what's going on? China claims these are all citizens that are flying back to China from places that have outbreaks right now, like Russia. We're going to have to monitor this news, George. It's so important. But right now, we're talking about 100 new cases each day. George?
Yeah, we've seen that in other hotspots as well, Tom. Okay, thanks very much. We want to go to the White House now, and the growing evidence that the President Trump's top advisors were urgently warning him about the danger of a pandemic starting back in January. Despite those warnings, President Trump spent weeks downplaying the COVID-19 threat in public. Our chief White House correspondent, John Karl, is tracking the latest on all that. And John, the paper trail in these reports is pretty damning, and the president pretty clearly angry about it.
He clearly is, especially the implication that if he had acted earlier,
that lives could have been saved. This is something that Dr. Anthony Fauci said directly yesterday, that if they had put these social distancing guidelines in place earlier, lives, it's logical to conclude, could have been saved. And now the president appears to be going directly after Fauci, who obviously is a key player on his coronavirus task force. He retweeted something late last night that said that had the hashtag Fire Fauci, pointing out that in late February, Fauci had said that the risk was low. But I've tried, George, this morning to get an answer on this. I've reached out to the White House. I can get no on-the-record response to the very basic question of whether the president still has confidence in Anthony Fauci.
And of course, John, Dr. Fauci is not alone. One of the things the New York Times reports is also this so-called Red Dawn email chain that included a number of top experts, both inside and outside government.
Yes, this Red Dawn for 1984 movie talked about the dire warnings going all the way back to January. And some of these experts, as you mentioned, both inside and outside of government, saying that schools needed to be closed, businesses, people needed to be working from home. Those recommendations, those warnings were not heeded until well into March.
John Karl, thanks very much. Robin?
All right, George, thank you very much. Now we have a breathtaking Easter moment we want to share with everyone. Italian tenor Andrea Bocelli live streamed a concert from Milan, the center of Italy's epidemic. He sang inside and outside the city's famous cathedral. The final song, Amazing Grace, and it was accompanied by images of empty streets in major cities around the world.
'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How
So far on YouTube for that beautiful, beautiful performance. And coming up, the Detroit Nurse also wowing the world with her stunning rendition of Amazing Grace. We're going to talk to her in our next hour, Michael.
Yeah, Robert, I tell you, one of the most heartfelt songs ever written. You feel it in your soul.
Yes.
And coming up, everybody.
You do, you really do.
You really, really do. And coming up, we have those people who are defying at-home orders, how those who didn't follow guidelines were held accountable on Easter Sunday. In the creative ways, some kept their community together from a distance. But first, let's go to Ginger at home. Hey, Ginger.
Hey, Michael, I just wanted to show you the scope of this storm all the way from Florida up into the Northeast and the Great Lakes impacted today. Here are some of the wind alerts that you need to be on the lookout for. Really covering Michigan, Indiana, Ohio. We're talking about gusts of 60 miles per hour. I think power lines could come down. I think that we could see major tree damage into homes. And by the way, snow happening behind this in parts of Minnesota. Let's get to your local weather in 30 seconds. First, though, the select cities sponsored by Pampers.
Here she is. Hey, Mama.
From the first loving touch, everything that touches your baby should be this comforting. That's why Pampers, the #1 pediatrician recommended brand, wraps your baby in breathable softness to help keep their skin dry and healthy. So every touch is as comforting as the first. Pampers, the #1 pediatrician recommended brand.
Nasty storms with severe weather in the forecast on this Weather Alert Monday. Take a look. We could have everything from heavy rain and flash flooding to damaging winds that could do some structural damage, lead to some power outages across the area, maybe even some hail, and can't rule out a few isolated tornadoes today. We've got that increased risk from now until about 1 to 2 p.m. After 2 p.m., better weather for getting out. It's going to be a warm one today, windy up to 79 degrees, cooler tomorrow.
Right back.
More than ever, your home is your sanctuary.
That's why Lincoln offers you the ability to purchase a new vehicle remotely with participating dealers.